everybody. I'm Lindia, and I have been living in Fairfax County for 19 years. I'm a Honduran import and proud American by choice. What you need to know about me, are, among other things, is that I'm one of you. I have been very active with not only FCRC, but the Republican Women of Clifton, and I would like to bring some of those principles of conservatism back into the school board management. What I propose and would like to try to implement are what I'm calling the ABCs to a better education system. And they start by adding strength and emphasis on academics. We need to make remedial education a thing of the past. Last year, Northern Virginia Community College reported that 62% of its enrollees needed at least one course in remedial education. That means that you, as parents, are going to be paying for education twice. That has to stop. The other very important thing is that our students of today are the economic engine of our country tomorrow. And high-skilled jobs are fleeing, by the second. And that is because companies are investing where they can find a high-skilled labor force. We are not outputting children that are going into into careers that are based on hard sciences, engineering, and such. And we have to change that. The second important point for me and priority is the budget transparency and accountability. We definitely need to find out how the money is being used. In the past decade, the budget has gone from $1.5 billion to $2.2 billion. That is a 47.2%, I think, 47.2% increase. However, student enrollment has only gone up 6+%. Teacher staffing has gone up 6.7%. So let's do the math. Where is the money going? And I think it is essential that we start with an independent external auditing measure so that we find out where the money's going and then make decisions as to where to reallocate, refocus, and reorient those funds. I can't imagine us being in front of Jack Dale and him asking, at least if I'm there, for $56 million more for the budget. I just cannot imagine, because he's not going to get it more. The third important point is my C, which is control back to the parents and to the taxpayer. To the parents in the sense that we need to include them always in the decision-making process. We need to include them in the disciplinary process, and they need to be at the top of the loop all the time. I had a very quick anecdote here. I had the opportunity of going down to Richmond with Elizabeth Schultz at the beginning of this year, I think it was. We were going to testify for a delegate who wanted to implement just 2-3 words in the language of a bill that would have provided parents with a mandated, with a mandate to be informed the minute that their child triggered, the disciplinary process. And we lost. And you know who was there to advocate against us? FCPS paid lobbyists. Our tax dollars are going to pay people to advocate against us. We are paying their salaries. That has got to stop. And the taxpayer, whether you use the system or not, you are paying into it. 54 cents approximately of every dollar that you pay into the system is going to FCPS, whether you use it or not. And they are not paying attention to your concerns. Case in point, Clifton Elementary. I mean, that's a debacle that we cannot see repeated. So control back to the parents and the taxpayer is essential. And finally, data-driven solutions. We live in the information age. We live in the peak of technology here. How is it that we're still doing bus routes, by pencil? Or how is it that we are constantly changing boundaries and fragmenting communities without observing, the data, without observing physical constraints, urban planning parameters, infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, the condition of that, 10-year projections on residential, patterns in the areas where schools are concentrated. That has got to be something of concern, and I believe that we should be working as, or at least FCPS should be steered into working more closely with the Department of Planning and Zoning so that it doesn't appear that they are acting in a vacuum, which is what my sense was in the last 2.5 years that I have observed them. And I think if we can implement some of these measures, we will definitely restore a lot of the good reputation that our Fairfax County Public School Systems has had in the past. So with your support, helping us, spread out literature, helping us with funds to buy signs, yard signs, which are very expensive, by the way, and we need a lot to canvass the whole county. I think that we can get in there, and if you will support our whole slate and also some of the other candidates from magisterial districts, and we can get at least a majority in there, we definitely will be able to affect change. So thank you so much for this opportunity to getting my message.